What is your favorite social media platform? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the above? Social media is quite simply defined as anything that uses the internet to facilitate conversations. Conversations with your friends, your family, your food delivery service, your government, and literally anyone who wants to talk to you. Yes, you!
Hello, my name is Laurence Umuhoza, a student at Mount Kenya University in Mass Media and Communication. Today, I and my team are on a quest to investigate how social media has been an impactful tool, a game changer, some would call it, to public relations as a profession. Today, we are meeting two professionals here in Kigali who will be talking to us how really social media has impacted their lives, especially during this COVID time. Follow me as we found out more.
We met Craven Mupenda, a manager and digital director at an international NGO operating here in Rwanda. Craven is also a renowned photographer with thousands of followers on his personal and professional platforms. He started by telling us what social media is to him.
Social media is a channel where people interact and connect, first of all, and socialize, as the name social media itself says it. But to me, as a creative, not only it helps me connect with different creatives or every other people, but it also connects me with potential clients. And most of the time, you find that you can use it both ways, either as a social interactive tool or social channel to interact with people, or as a channel to actually interact with the customers and actually acquire even more customers.
Meet Sonia, a communications and marketing professional with over 8 years of experience. She's now a communication and marketing specialist at UAP Insurance Rwanda. She elaborates on why more companies and institutions are leveraging on social media platforms as their biggest tool for PR and marketing.
When you are a PR officer or a communication officer, you know that you need to reach your audience where they are. So you wouldn't want to be somewhere that your audience is or missing out when you are focusing on other platforms and your audience is on social media. So it's a necessity now. It's not a privilege. It's not something for SMEs that cannot afford many things. It's not something for young generation. It's a necessity for you to speak to people, because there's all the generation possible, there's all the audience you need, so you need to be part of that trend.
Facebook is the largest and widely used social media platform with over 2 billion users across the world. If you and 1 billion more people were to deactivate your accounts, Facebook would not mean a lot to businesses and large corporations anymore. They're just there to get you. Before social media, businesses, large corporations, governments, and so many other would use traditional public relations to communicate from a B2B and B2C perspective. Press releases were sent, memos were disseminated, by radio and TV ads, and advertised in major prints. These traditional media channels are no longer enough, some might say relevant. Social media penetration in Rwanda stood at 4.8%, internet penetration at 26% as of 2020. This be the game changer for public relations professionals in Rwanda?
There's that instinct, or there's a delay, of course, depending on when person can see it, but it's quicker and it's faster because you're on the platform that is checked so often. For example, you asked me how much I use my social media, and it's literally every 2 hours. But how much do I watch TV? It's maybe once in a day, or probably not once in a week, like I will spend a day without watching it. How much do I read a newspaper? If it's not on my phone, it's hard to reach out to that newspaper. How much do I listen to radio? If it's not on my phone, again, but also if it's on my phone, it means I need to be in a quiet place where I can listen and everything. But for social media, you just scroll through, and then you're scrolling through, and then you're just seeing what is happening. So that's what it's offering to PR. It's offering that instant communication where you interacting in a way, you're telling them, they're telling you, and it's faster. If you're launching a campaign to be able to see what is happening for on TV, it will take to fast get the comment. It will take you a while because people will take the content you're sharing, but you won't know if it's either negative or positive. That means you will have to do a survey later on to find how it impacted. Those are still things we do, but with social media, you're able to get those metrics really fast. You know, okay, it reached impressions, it's 1,000 or 2,000. People who opened between people reached. So that means if people really clicked through a link or wanted to know information or come to your website, that means they were interested. So you have a number that you can walk through and really actually transform it into now your sales. From how you communicated, convert that number into sales, which was hard with TV. They will tell you it was an audience of 2,000 people, but you want to know, okay, what is the impact it got to that audience? Yeah.
If I'm to kind of like slightly deep dive, it has different factors. I think it goes first with the infrastructure being available, and also having the devices actually to access maybe those different infrastructures to also be there. And then it also takes the organizations to also identify or actually sort of like understand that now people actually now have access to these devices. And that way they basically also leverage that channel to actually directly reach out to these individuals. So if you look back in the days, the best way to advertise was radio, billboards, banner, or some activations on site. But now with social media coming, and we have affordable internet, which is also fast, and we also have people having these devices to access all these different platforms. That's where also social media comes in place, where they sort of like become the middle people or the middleman between brands and people, or people, brand, which would refer to as B2B or B2C. But sometimes I also just keep it as C2C, although they may not be customers talking, but just interacting. So identifying actually now that channel is also one thing that was really important, and it's one of the biggest and best way to actually directly reach out to customers in the modern days. Where I think even as an example, here in Rwanda, you'd see that we have had less billboards out there and more Facebook ads, for example, Instagram ads, because that's where the people are. So you have to actually go where people are. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
For you to have a public relations, which is how you maintain that relationship with people, you need to be communicating what's happening. So it's really, to use it, I'm not sure if it's how it's being used, but how rather it should be used. It should be that you keep your stakeholders engaged. By keeping your stakeholder engaged, that means you share communication that is happening, you share any new policies that you have, you share any new pricing that you have, And those things are instant. Those things are being seen at the moment you're saying it. If you have a new member appointed to your board or a new CEO coming on, it's so easy to be, okay, we got a new CEO, then the time you are going to draft a press release, and the press release is going to be done completely very aligned and published in newspaper, and then we wait for maybe the news, because that's when people are seeing the news, so to announce it on television and everything. That is like a whole day, a whole week kind of plan, but you have already told.
One of the main reasons also, maybe from the user behaviors, you find that not most people, not actually many people, go and pick a newspaper to read, say, a particular press release or any other information. It has to be one click away, a link here, a link there, or actually knowing that this institution is there and you know exactly where to find the right information. Now, in terms of putting out there all these different kinds of communication, not only with different users having this behavior pattern that you can, or different technologies can actually help you predict or even decide, you find that it's just a matter of keeping up with your communication to your audience. And your audience here is basically your followers. And from there, you quickly get anything to them right away. And that could be social media and hyperlinks maybe to a website where there's any more details. And social media basically kind of like plays that role where it's quick and it's also efficient. But as always, we cannot say that social media is everything, but it kind of like, there's a particular niche that it sort of like communicates to, because we have also people who still stick to the analog, where they still go actually get newspapers, or they actually sit on the radio. And here we're talking about people, say for example, who are who have a certain particular level of digital literacy. They have access to these smartphones. They actually even know how social media work and how it's used. So organizations actually targeting now these particular people, it really benefits them, but they still also leverage different channels like radio or magazine or TV to still communicate the same communication, to make sure they maximize the communication, or they broaden it. Yeah.
Social media has driven a fundamental shift in the way both in-house and agents public relations practitioners manage brand awareness. Also, social media has become the most efficient and an increasing vital component to managing disaster response, making it an ideal outlet for crisis communications. However, public relations, communication professionals, and marketers across Rwanda are still unsure on how to exactly adapt to the new world of social media. Relatively, few experts exist in social media management, even though there are many trying to fill the gap.
There you go. What started as a fun, entertaining, and relaxing channel has now become a business channel for businesses and institutions, whether in private and public, joining it to be able to keep up with their customers and audiences, and also manage crisis. Thanks for watching. Until next time, ciao.